Hey everyone, how are y'all? Happy New Year's to everyone. Betty Joe, how are you? Sally Mae, Happy New Year's to you too. Vapor, same to you. Happy New Year's. All right. Just to let everybody know, if y'all hear people talking in the background, don't pay no attention. I figured everybody be gone by now. Betty Joe, I'm doing all right. Musical Happy New Year to you as well. Nita G, thank you. Happy New Year's to you. I still got like 25 minutes here before the New Year's. Sedona Sky, how are you? Happy New Year. I will be so glad when 2024 is gone, y'all. So glad. Sorry, Betty Joe, I wasn't looking at StreamYard again.
It's all right.
I've got such I don't know why I've got a bad habit of doing that here lately. Elsie, yeah, there was a couple of people here. I wish they would have done went home, but I just told them they were gonna have to shut up and be quiet in there. It's too dang late to have company. Meta Mom, how are you? But Betty Joe, it's already 2025 where you're at, huh?
Yep. Been for 35 minutes.
I'll be glad when it gets here and it's 2024 is over with. I'm over this year.
Yeah. Hopefully 2025 is a better year.
Ugh, I hope so, because I can tell you it's been rough, big time. So did y'all do fireworks and all that?
No, we just watched the ball drop and then we had these little poppers. We let the baby take them out and throw them on the sidewalk so they would pop.
Oh, okay, I bet you she liked that.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, people around here were shooting fireworks or whatever, but used to we did all that when the kids were still home. But
Yeah.
I'll, I'm burning my money when I do that. Hey Avery, how are you?
Yeah. There are people shooting guns off around here.
Yeah, they'll be doing that here at 12 o'clock. So if it starts sounding like a war zone around here, or right around midnight here, don't pay that any attention either. Hey Princess Lena, how are you? Because they do that here. I was gonna ask you something and I forgot now what it was I was gonna ask you. I can't even remember. Maybe I'll think of it later. Okay, let's see. Avery says Happy New Year to everyone.
Happy New Year, Avery. Hey, why ain't she up here?
She just came in. Hold on, let me drop the link. I think it's done.
Usually she's
Pat.
trying to.
She's trying to what?
I said usually she's trying to race me up there.
Oh yeah, she was in the chat before I went live, and then she just came back in. So we was gonna go watch the fireworks, but yeah, I didn't want to leave my house.
I don't blame you.
I watched the in New York City where they open the gates for all the people to come through to celebrate. And I just thought, oh my God, it is going to stink so bad around all of those people. Half of them probably didn't have deodorant on. Just, it wasn't worth it. And it was the same thing here. They had a big firework thing. And I didn't want to get out around all them people.
Yeah.
I'm just not very people-y tonight, so I figured I'd just come hang out with y'all. Sally Mae, that's what I said. Ew, it's just, them people are just, ugh.
Hold on. Ready?
3, 2, 1. Happy New Year!
Oh, Happy New Year to you too, Bubbles.
I love you.
Wait, what'd she say?
Say it again.
I love you.
She said, I love you.
Oh, I love you too. Oh my God, she is so cute.
She's taking off. She's going out into the kitchen.
She's got to go play now.
She's going to go get something to eat. This child's been eating Oreo cookies.
Oh, Avery. Avery said it's my mom's anniversary. She passed 6 years ago today. I just did a tribute video for her on. Did you mean to put Facebook, Avery? And she said, so I'm in my feelings. Oh. So I'll have to go check out the video. Princess Lena, that's what I said. There's several different cities in Louisiana who always do like the big firework thing, and down in Natchitoches they have like the fireworks every Saturday, then the big huge Christmas festival they have down there, and then they'll have they had fireworks tonight, and it was just too many people for me.
Yeah, too big crowds. I don't like big crowds.
Me neither. Used to, it didn't bother me. And I've been in true crime too long to get around large crowds of people. Avery says it sounds like a war zone there already. Once it hits midnight here, I'm pretty sure y'all will probably hear my neighbors, because I can't believe they're not shooting fireworks. But damn it, New Year's at 12 a.m., they gonna at least shoot the guns.
Yeah, they get crazy around here.
We've heard a few people around here shooting fireworks earlier. And I've seen somebody, I forgot now who it was, I'll scroll back up in chat, that said a tip to make sure you bring your pets in so they don't run off from being scared from the fireworks. Yep. None of my animals around here, stuff like that doesn't bother them.
No, we have 2 dogs that are outside. They're used to it.
Yeah, that's how ours is here.
They just go in their dog house. They don't leave.
Yeah. Mine don't pay any, which I only have 1 dog outside, but she don't pay that no attention.
What are you doing, little one?
So Betty Jo, did you?
It's trying to hurt itself.
Huh?
I said Aubrey's hamster's trying to hurt itself.
Oh.
It climbs up the top of the cage and then falls.
Aw. He wants out to play.
It's so funny.
Kelly P, Happy New Year to you as well. So did you read the court documents that came out for Caleb Collins' mother?
Yes, I did.
I'm so mad, y'all. Yes. And I wanted this to be Scott. Is that you? It's in my backstage right now. If it is, put it in chat for me, just so I know for sure. Avery, hold on. I'm fixing to bring you up. Okay, I just want to make sure this is Scott Young before I brought him up. Okay, Scott and Avery, how are y'all?
Hey, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you as well. Scott, I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry, I had myself muted.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you good now. Okay, I got to change this layout. I changed the layout before I went live. I don't like how it looks. I got to go back to my other way. Hold on.
If you guys hear the, I'm sitting outside, so if you guys hear it, I'm sorry. It's Alabama. They shoot everything you can possibly think of.
It'll be fine. Like
Yeah.
I said, I'm pretty sure when it hits midnight here, y'all will probably be hearing my neighbors too. So
Oh yeah.
I
I
made
remember I remember last year, I believe I was on your live or somebody else's live when one of my neighbors ran out and you literally could hear him yelling to his friends, hold my beer and watch this shit, and then a big ass cannon.
well, I told my husband, I said, whatever, do not go outside and start doing anything while I'm live at midnight, please, because it would be right here in front of me and it would be super loud. So Scott, I hear that you have been on other backstage panels, but not
Oh
on
wow.
but not on mine.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I've gone to many different panels. Yeah. I don't know how you know that. That's good information.
Because
No,
we're just
I just love doing it. And just like I love like the open panel discussions and stuff. Wow, you have a good information network. I don't know.
Uh,
How's that
word
work?
Scarlett,
gets around.
Scarlett sees and hears everything.
hmm I heard about it too. It was in somebody's Discord, and they were like, "Hey, you know that Scott guy that comes in Lost Souls chat? He's been on all kinds of other panels." And I was like, "Really?"
Well, I didn't know about other live panels, but I did hear about a backstage panel.
Yeah, no, and the name is Montgomery, by the way. Scott is the middle name.
Okay, so that's
Yeah,
why I
well,
was asking to make sure that it was you before I brought you up.
No,
so
sure.
your first name is Montgomery?
Yes.
I've never known anybody named Montgomery.
Me neither, but it's
That's
unique though.
awesome.
Oh, thank you for that. Yeah, my mother was a Star Trek fan, and Scotty, his name was actually Montgomery Scott, so that's where I got my name from. And Mont means mountain, like Montana. It's not a mountainous place, but they have some mountains. It's named like that. And Montgomery means like a strong guy, so my name means like a strong guy from the mountain. But yeah, I
never
go
knew
by
that.
Mont. I go by Mont, but yeah, Mont. I like my nickname Mont. It means mountain in French, I
Wow.
guess.
Cool.
Yeah, that is a very, very unique name. I've never met anybody with that name.
Me neither. I always thought Scott was his first name, and okay, is it
Everybody sees it as a
Messerschmitt?
last name. It is a last name. Yeah, Montgomery is a last name for sure.
Okay, well, I just always assumed Scott was your first name in chat. So
Oh, no. My last name is Asian because I'm half Asian. But yeah, Montgomery is indeed my first name.
cool.
Right?
How am really? How is there like any? Why would anybody talk about me? I'm just somebody who just jumps around some chats. I mean, like, why does anybody care?
Oh no, I was just teasing you. I really haven't heard anything.
Hilarious.
Messing with you.
You have to watch Avery.
Yeah,
Sometimes-
Avery mess with people.
Yeah, she's always got jokes.
If she has a podcast, I definitely want to subscribe to that. So that's hilarious. That's some good stuff right there.
Janie, happy New Year to you as well. Yeah, I don't have my glasses on, and a lot of the names it's hard for me to see right now because I'm sitting so far back from the monitor. Betty Jo, no, we didn't hear anything.
Okay, because I'm outside smoking a cigarette and they're going off.
Yeah, no, I didn't hear anything.
Oh, I can't hear Betty Jo's, but it's like cannon after cannon after cannon here.
I can't hear yours either, Avery.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
must be deaf tonight or something.
No, I don't hear Avery's either.
Well, these new phones, they cancel out the background noise pretty good.
Oh, okay.
Because you guys usually don't even hear the dogs barking.
No, usually I don't. So,
So I figured I'd come up and just I watched the ball drop and then
I missed it.
I made that video for my mom, and then I was like, you know what, I might as well just come on up here and just get my mind off of it because otherwise
Right. I get it, and I'm sorry to hear about that. I didn't know that today was that anniversary.
Yeah.
HT. So yeah, I will definitely go check out the video.
You
So I was asking Betty Jo before Avery, you and Scotty came up, if yeah, which I know Avery, you had read it about uh, little Caleb's mom, and yeah, this I was just gonna do like a shoot the shit type of live tonight for New Year's. Wasn't gonna talk about anything, and then I found these documents, and I'm just
Well, I wanted to tell you, and I put it in the Facebook group. I did submit a request because the Alabama is really weird about letting people in the courtroom. They're
Mhm.
really weird about allowing any kind of videoing. Even court TV can hardly get in here.
Mhm.
They're just Alabama's really locked down with things like that. But I did put in a request because my brother-in-law works with WSFA, my sister's husband, and that's our local news. And I asked him, and I did put in a request to see if I can, if they will somehow approve me, then I will be there for the hearings and the trial.
Okay.
But I,
Good.
but I, I highly doubt they're going to approve me.
Is she
Well,
out of the hospital yet?
oh yeah, she's out and then been
Yeah,
arrested and everything.
Oh, okay.
And I did not see. Has anybody saw if she has a bail amount?
no bail as of
Okay.
so
I don't.
they have a hear they're going to have a hearing, but right now she's being held on no bail. But they
Okay.
are asking when I don't remember what day the hearing is, but they're going to be asking for no bail because they are looking at this being a death penalty case.
Good. I'm,
Good.
I'm, I'm glad. And I was reading about it because I knew Alabama had the DP and everything, but she's being charged with the criminally negligent homicide for Riley.
Hmm.
And that's the only charge that she has right now for Riley's situation. The other three charges that she has is for baby Caleb.
Right.
So I was looking up to see what would constitute a death penalty conviction or a death penalty sentencing in the state of Alabama, and because I was wanting to know, if they're going to go for it or not, or if they would even be able to. But it says that, and I don't know how if they've charged her with a Class A misdemeanor on that charge because it is a misdemeanor for the criminally negligent homicide, but there's also aggravating factors that can make it a Class C felony.
So
And
I've seen that, but I can promise you this is so here, and this is in every county. We have a grand jury that meets um, one day a week, every week, and they review all um, felony charges or possible felony charges.
mhm,
So the DA has charged her, but the grand jury is gonna come back with an indictment. And because uh, those those two, so she admitted she admitted to them that she knew that her son was being tortured and did nothing to stop
right,
it. Didn't
right.
call law enforcement, didn't do anything. So that is, contributing.
So did they? The grandfather's still in jail, right?
Yeah. And now they're thinking he possibly died in June or July
Yeah,
because
because that was when she received the pictures and the text message was in July, but
yeah,
then it says something about in September about the body being moved to an unknown location.
yeah.
So where is this confirmation that he was seen in September? Who
Right.
who
Exactly.
who saw him in September that can confirm that he was seen in September? Because if he was seen in September, but they're saying, yeah, I saw him in September, but they're not saying, but he wasn't alive. I
I
Yeah.
mean,
think
technically they're not lying because they
I
did
think
see him in September, but they just left out the part that he was deceased.
I think it was her family lying to cover for her because her mother has one of those FaceTime screenshots with Caleb, and she said it was in September, but
Okay.
it's not dated. I didn't see a date on it, but I'm thinking that's where they got that from, and I'm thinking, her family was covering for it. But oh my God, when I read those documents,
Yep, your screenshots have dates.
I thought I was going to throw up. I cannot
Right.
believe what they did to that baby.
Right. Musical, thank you so much for the super chat. Musical says, Happy New Year from Australia. Thank you,
Happy
and
New
Happy
Year.
New Year to you as well. Yeah, I when I read it just for the charge though for Riley, she should get the DP.
Yeah.
Especially if they took Stevens, did a toxicology or a tox thing on him,
Mhm.
and she knew that he was under the influence of something, and she still got in the vehicle with that little girl and did not put her in a car seat. That should be one of the aggravating circumstances.
Yep.
Was that she knowingly, because there is one that, where did I write it down at? Because hold on.
I bet you she wish she didn't make that car accident.
Yeah. Okay. So it says here. So if in order for that charge to go up to a Class C felony, it would have to be if the death is caused by someone operating a vehicle or vessel under the influence of alcohol or drugs. The charge then becomes a Class C felony with a sentence ranging from 1 to 10 years in prison and a fine of up to $15,000. But it also said on there that hold on, y'all. My notes are all over the place today. The death penalty can be imposed if the murder is committed under aggravating circumstances, such as the murder of a child under 14 years old.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, and then on top of the fact that she knew what he did to baby Caleb,
Mm-hmm.
like this man is sending her, and if y'all want me to, I will read. There's 4 different documents, one for each of the 4 charges that she got. I will read them. They're not but like a page long, and okay, thank you, Meta Mom. But they're graphic. And what this little boy went through, what was sent to her, she saw it. And then the responses she gave back to Steven in a text message,
Unbelievable.
it just, well, he just looks hurt and tired and wore out, but hopefully that's it.
So our governor, Kay Ivey, has called for she has called for the death penalty.
Good.
And I don't know how much influence she has over something like that, but I believe it will be a death penalty case.
I hope so.
I just
And
can't believe that.
I
And
mean, like,
they moved his body. I want to know how well they searched that landfill because she worked at the landfill.
yeah, I don't believe for a minute that she doesn't know where his body is.
Oh no. Yeah, she knows.
I don't.
She knows.
Elsie, thank you so much for that super chat. Elsie says, Happy New Year to everyone at Lost Souls. Well, thank you, and Happy New Year to you as well.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Elsie.
Hold on, let me get them pulled up here. I think I'm going to go ahead and read them. Like I said, they are graphic, but I mean, this baby needs a voice just like everybody else does. She needs to be punished for what she did.
Yep.
For her part in it, for Caleb and for Riley.
Scott, have you seen the documents and heard about the photos? Or I'm sorry, Montgomery. I'm calling you the wrong name.
No, you know what? I follow a lot of true crime stuff and trials and stuff like that. This case is not something I actually heard of. I'm hearing it all from you guys talking about it.
Okay, so just to give you a backstory on it then real quick. So Wendy, the mom, Steven, the dad of the 2 kids, of Riley and Caleb, they had moved from Louisiana to Alabama along with Wendy's dad. On December the 8th, there's a car accident, a very bad car accident, where the dad, Steven, and the little girl, Riley, were killed in the car accident. The little girl was not in a car seat. She was not in a seatbelt, just out and about in the truck when the crash happened. When they got in touch with the family in Louisiana to let them know about the accident, they were like, well, what about their son? They have a little boy. And the cops didn't even know about him. Cat's Meow, thank you so much for that super chat. That was very nice of you. Thank you. So they go back and they get to looking. Well, they end up arresting the grandfather because, according to him at the time, he was last seen in September. Like, he just basically didn't know anything. The baby was sent to live with a friend, but he didn't know where and who and all this and that. Princess Lena, thank you so much for gifting that membership. That was very nice of you. Thank you. So police get to looking. They have to bring the little girl back to Louisiana to bury her. I believe he was buried in Alabama, right, Avery? The dad was?
I can't figure out where he's buried. I can't find any information on him being buried.
I haven't.
It's midnight.
Is it? Oh, yes. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year. Well, I'm listening to these crazy. My dogs are sedated.
But so anyway.
Mine too, by the way.
Yeah,
I wish mine was. Mine's in there. I can hear him in there running around.
God, hold on. Yeah,
so I don't know.
Sorry, did y'all hear that? I just about came out of my clothes.
It sounds like you're giving me some good plot twist, Scarlett. Like there was a missing child involved. There's an accident. Like 2 people that were dead, right?
Yes,
and
the mom survived.
There was a missing child.
Yes, so they didn't even.
Wow.
The cops didn't even know about little baby Caleb at the time of the accident. Well, when they get to looking around for him and everything, they go ask Wendy's dad, because he lived in the same household as they did. They end up arresting him because at that time we all thought that the baby hadn't been seen since September. So he gets arrested for failing to report a missing child. Well, the mom during this time is in the hospital in a coma because she got hurt really bad in the accident. So she comes out of her coma. They end up arresting her, and she basically tells them, back in July, Stephen, the dad of the 2 kids, took him. I don't know where exactly she was at when these messages were sent and where Stephen and this little baby was at. But he had sent her text messages in a picture that said, he's gone home now. And then he sends her another one, says, I'm sorry. And there's a picture of this little baby laying on his back. And then she says, well, he looks worn out and tired and hurt, but maybe that's all. And then he sends her a text message back that says, well, he's moving. Well, then...
don't forget about the first picture he sent before that one.
Okay, I'll have to go back to that so I can... Hold on. Let me go back to that document then.
So this gave me clues. The first picture he sent her, the baby is hanging from rope in a loft.
From a loft, yes.
Bloodied and bruised.
Got bruises all over him. They basically said that he tortured him.
Yeah.
Is what happened. And she knows all this. Now, I don't want to hear that she was scared of him, that he was abusive to her. She had, at that point right there, if she was scared for her life, at that point when he was not around her, because obviously he wasn't, if he's sending her messages and pictures showing her what is going on, at that time, right then and there, she could have called and turned his ass in. Hey, Hassan, how are you?
Damn straight.
And could have got him right then, and they would know where that little boy is today. Yeah. But she didn't do that.
Response didn't.
Maybe I'm on panel.
Her response didn't even.
She didn't care.
She didn't sound concerned for her child at all.
No.
It's like she was involved in it.
And so she ends up telling the cops all this. So I'm pretty sure that there are more details that they did not put in these 4 documents for each one of her charges or whatever. There's probably a whole lot. But apparently the little boy was wrapped up and put in a storage building for however long they said for a period of time, and then he was moved to an unknown location. I don't believe for 1 minute that Wendy or her dad doesn't know where that little boy is at.
Right.
You can't make me think that they don't know where his body was put. You can't make me believe that they didn't know that this was going on, especially the grandfather. Wendy
I
obviously knew, like it's been proven she knew, but the grandfather, he knew what was going on too, and he failed to report it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, this is a news story for me, but we've heard this time and time again where people they could have stopped all these horrible things from happening, they didn't.
But
That's
they
what it
did.
sounds like.
Yeah,
That's just what it
exactly.
sounds like based on this, and we've seen it so many times. And like crimes against children, a lot of people could have stopped them, but
Yeah.
they never did. They just like stood back, like, "Oh, I was scared of." No,
Yeah.
it's
Exactly.
unforgivable.
Well, I mean, we
Unforgivable.
heard it in Harmony Montgomery's case.
Oh
Which-
But
yes,
see, this time,
the stepmom. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but this time the dad isn't alive for them to charge, and I think they are going to make an example out of her.
I
They should.
hope she gets, and then like I said in Discord, whenever I put the documents in there, I hope he rots in hell, and I hope that she gets the death penalty for her part in this, because there is pictures. Well, there was pictures on Facebook that of her behind the wheel of a truck, and she's got little Riley sitting in the passenger seat in the front in a seatbelt, not in a car seat, nothing. Where she should have been in the back seat in a car seat, she is sitting in the front seat in a seatbelt.
And she couldn't have been more than a year old in that picture.
Jesus.
10, 11 months.
God.
Possibly.
It's just, I mean, she didn't care about either one of these kids. And that's what I said. If I hear of her saying, or that's her defense, that she was scared of him, I'm going to lose my shit on her, because
Yeah.
she could have at any time when he wasn't around her, got away from him.
I completely believe you because I am familiar with the Harmony Montgomery case, and yeah, the mother is shameful. The stepmother, whoever she was shameful, and then they're just disgusting. You know what happened with that little girl. You know,
Yeah.
with her like abusive father that just beat her to death. Like disgusting.
And then Kayla, the stepmom, is walking down the street with her deceased body in the stroller to take him to him so he can put her in a freezer at his job.
Yeah, and she never said anything until the cops caught them both. You know.
No.
Ugh.
So in this basically the same situation as this one. And it's just, I have no sympathy for her, for Wendy, the
Right.
mom. I have no sympathy for the stepdad, and I have no sympathy for the bio dad at
Okay.
all. Hey, Glowbug, how are you? Happy New Year. It's just, you did this to this innocent little baby who was a year old, who was not even big enough to defend himself, and it took a car accident and his sister, who was 2 at the time when she died. It took that car accident and her dying for them to even hear that there was another baby in this family.
And I do believe that car accident was intentional.
He was
think
going
he was-
92 miles an hour.
Yeah, and he never braked.
No.
He never braked when he hit that.
Wow, that's crazy.
They said he was aggressively driving, so like rage driving, and I think he was trying to take them all out.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I don't wish death on nobody. Okay, not even my worst enemy, maybe my stepdad, but that was it.
You know what? I might disagree with that last statement, though. I don't think he was trying to take them all. I think this guy sounds like a coward, and like people might be drunk and rage driving and stuff. They might go 92 and not brake or something. I think this guy sounds like a coward. I don't think he was trying to take them all out. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah.
You know, that's what cowards are, the people that pick on little kids and people that are weaker than them. That's what cowards do.
And
So yeah, and then they're not going to sacrifice themselves because they're lack of a better word, pussies.
exactly.
That could
But
be-
I want to know what his tox report says,
yeah,
because you
and
could.
hers. I want
It's,
both of them. Yeah.
yeah, hers as well. But it's been said, what I've seen multiple places, that he was on substances.
Yeah.
So
Doesn't excuse any of his actions. Yeah, let him burn in hell.
exactly.
Jeez.
Exactly.
No, Yeah, if it's anything like the Harmony, because again, I haven't heard of this case, but if it's anything like the Harmony Montgomery case, then shit.
Yeah, because that one was bad, and it's pretty much close to the same circumstances as the two cases are. Only this time it is the bio mom and dad, where in Harmony's it was the dad and the stepmom.
Right. No, it was. And that, no, there's no excuses either way. I mean, they were kids in the care of their parents, biological or not.
I just
Disgusting.
I wonder with Caleb, the way they said that he in the picture he's hanging from a rope in a loft.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Is that the
sad.
suspect?
No, that's the baby.
The baby.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah.
The
And what I want to
go ahead.
This is just where my mind goes, and I don't like. Shoot, sorry, guys. They're making me jumpy out here. You guys can't hear that?
I can hear it a little bit, but it sounds like a muffled type sound.
What would be the reason for putting him up on a rope like that?
Because he's an evil, sadistic person. I mean, I don't think you can get any more evil than a grown-ass adult man doing this to a 1-year-old little boy.
It's
But Betty Jo, you're breaking up a little bit.
how about now?
Okay, now you're good.
Yeah, it's a disgusting thing.
It's just, and it didn't go into details about how he had him hung up or anything like that. Sally Mae, I understand. But I mean, I'm pretty sure, we kind of get the picture.
And then just like take pictures of it and send like that.
That's because he didn't care. He has no respect for human life. He didn't. I mean, that was his own blood. He had no care in the world for that little boy. He had no care in the world for Riley, for him own self. So if he didn't have it for his own self, why would he have it for anybody else?
If somebody does something that disgusting, they have no like morals or qualms about anything. So I don't think it's surprising that they would take pictures of it. And yeah, it's disgusting.
It's infuriating because these, it just what gets me is these babies are innocent. They just I can never understand why children. My mind cannot.
I can't understand why anybody would like torture animals either. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the same thing. It's just like these sick people pick on people that are weaker than them, and they enjoy it, and it's the most disgusting thing.
It is. It absolutely, yeah.
I don't know. I hope she gets everything that she deserves.
To get two of them together, like how do these psychotic people end up finding other psychotic people to marry and have kids
I mean,
with?
I think I have an answer, but I mean, like, don't you think, like, me, you, like, most normal people, we get people that are, like, similar to us and stuff, so, like, these, like, messed up people, the only people that will stay with them are the same messed up assholes like they are.
They gravitate to each other.
Yeah, that's gotta be what it is.
And it's better than the thought of that, like, we don't know who we're with, and they're going to be psycho, too, so... and it seems like there probably would have been a lot of signs here, right?
Oh yeah.
So it sounds like just based on your description, like both this guy and this woman are just very messed up people. And probably many people that knew him probably thought the same thing. Is what it doesn't sound like this girl sounds like a nice church girl type of person if she would do what she's been accused of.
Yeah.
Well, her mama did say that he was an evil, sadistic, narcissist person who liked to prey on young girls.
Mm-hmm.
That was
Mindy's
mom's exact words.
She's probably right, but she's not. She's going to minimize how much of a narcissist her own daughter is.
Oh, for sure.
So yeah, I mean, what type of person would get with this guy? You know, a
Oh,
narcissist is easy to see, right?
and
They're just like
her
talking about
family.
themselves all day and night, and like, I'm so great, blah 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 blah. You know,
Oh yeah.
And her family is already talking about suing Alabama DHR, which
Jesus.
they really do need to be investigated because there was, and there was
Sure,
open
but they're not the
cases.
victims. The victims are the people that died. It's not the family. It's the
Yeah,
victims. The DHR probably needs to like change their policies, but like
yeah, because they
it
had
sounds
put
like what you're
the
saying is like they're acting like they're victims. Like, oh, we should get money. You know, it
yeah.
sounds disgusting.
Well, so DHR had, for some reason, had put the kids into her dad's custody.
And this man had the previous DV charges.
Yeah. So the grandpa, the one who's in jail, he actually had
Jesus.
guardianship of the kids, but he was living with them, and but when the first thing that the family starts saying is, we're going to sue, and they're thinking about money, that it just doesn't sit right with me.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Instead of them wanting to sue them, okay, why didn't they, the family here in Louisiana who's talking about wanting to sue them, why didn't
Mhm.
they do what they could to get the two kids out of the custody of the
Right.
parents and the
Exactly. That
grandfather?
sounds like a good point
Yep.
right there.
Yes, 100%.
They didn't do nothing but sit back and let it happen. The grandmother, Wendy's mama, knew how he was. She has kids by him.
Hmm.
I know how people are in Louisiana in these small communities. When one thing happens before the end of the afternoon, everybody in that little community is going to know about it. So
Yeah.
you can't tell me that her mama did not know that that man had charges on him, whether she was married to him at the time or it was after they were married. The fact is, she
Yep.
knew it. She should have never allowed, whenever DHR was brought into the situation with these two kids, she should have done her part as a grandmother and said, hey, let me have the kids as long as you're going to be with him. If you're
Yeah.
going to leave him and you want to come back home with me, then we'll work out the custody situation. But for the time being, I'm going for custody of my grandkids. So
Right.
I hold Stephen and Wendy and John, the grandfather, responsible for what happened to these two little kids, but it's other people involved in it that would be needs to be held responsible as well. Don't worry about suing the state of Alabama when you didn't do
Yeah.
shit to help these kids.
I think if anybody on this panel was in their position, we'd feel guilty. But they're pointing fingers, it sounds like. So that just sounds like wrong.
What I
to
would
me.
do if it was my child and my child was with a person, I have 3 kids, 2 boys and a girl. If my daughter was in the situation that Wendy is claiming that she was in, he was abused to her and blah blah blah. First of all, oh dude, we know what would happen to him because y'all know me well enough.
Mhm.
But if my daughter was in that type of situation and she has a kid, you think I'm gonna leave my grandbaby in that type of a situation? No, I'm not. If I had to beat the shit out of my own child to
Yeah.
wake her up in what's going on with her kid, then that's what I'm gonna do. But I'm gonna keep my grandbaby safe.
I tell you what, I'll go to prison over mine. Y'all know that.
Well, I mean, y'all know for my kids, and I don't have grandkids, but for my kids, I would rock a jumpsuit in a heartbeat if I had to.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
I just,
And the extenuating circumstances were there for her family because, so like Alabama they don't recognize grandparent rights.
No state. does.
But when there's a case, when it involves DHR and child abuse and things like that, then they have that, that exception to step in and get custody of the kids
Well,
or guardianship of the kids.
I don't think any of the 3 of you would have worried about the consequences because it's about those kids.
I
It's
wouldn't
about
have.
those kids. It doesn't matter, you know.
Yep, because like I said,
Protecting kids from like that, it doesn't matter.
I wouldn't
Take
have
the
gave
consequences.
the consequences.
way.
I wouldn't have gave 2 shits less about them consequences when it came to a child that is innocent and cannot protect him and defend himself against an adult.
Exactly.
I wouldn't have thought twice about it.
Oh, what? Alabama is supposed to be the poorest state in the country, but these people can afford fireworks for 18 solid minutes now.
Well, what state is there? Can we lighten it a little bit? What state is everybody else from? I'm from California personally.
I'm from Louisiana.
I'm from
Oh, cool.
I'm from California and Arizona, but I live in Alabama.
Oh, cool.
I'm originally from New Jersey, but I live in North Carolina.
Oh, okay. No, I thought like Scarlett was saying like now you. It hasn't been New Year for you yet. For me, it's 10:20 at the moment here in Oxnard, California, LA area.
Yeah, it's little after midnight here for me now.
Oh, okay. So yeah, not New Year for me yet.
How much is one cannon firework?
How much
You're
is
talking
what?
about like the
cannons, the ones that go up and make the big boom that
that's
make you
the artilleries.
that make you pee yourself.
That should be over 100, right?
Well, here you can get a box of them that comes with the tube that you drop the artilleries in, and you get like I think it's between 5 and 10 artilleries that you drop in it. $20, I believe it is.
Wow.
Close to what they are
That's
here.
it for the cannon?
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, it's a big box, and then you can buy extra boxes of the artilleries if you
Well,
want
you
to.
gotta remember, she lives in Louisiana, so it's a little cheaper.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's always been illegal where I've been from. Can't
Really?
even buy them.
I mean, everywhere, like literally, I live in the middle of nowhere.
That makes sense.
I'm about the closest city to me is about 30 minutes. So
We-
Yeah,
Go to South
That
Carolina
make
to get ours.
I mean, even here, there's fireworks stands all around here.
wow.
And
No,
I'm in the
I've
country.
never. I'm not familiar with that because I'm from LA basically, and we have to go to all the fireworks come from the desert, where I guess where there's nothing around. But in LA,
Yeah.
which like 10 million people, whatever, no fireworks.
Yeah.
It's illegal.
Well,
Okay.
me and Jaden were looking at a fireworks stand the other evening,
Mhm.
but it was right next to a gas station because we were pulled into the
Jeez.
gas station, and there was a man standing at the door smoking a cigarette, and Jaden was wanting to go in and get like sparklers because I don't know how to set off fireworks. And I looked over at that man smoking a cigarette, and then I looked over at the gas station, and I was like, "Oh no, we're not going in. No,
They have them here next to gas stations. They have the little buildings that they move and just bring in for the holidays or whatever. But if you want to get them, the best time to get them is like would have been late this afternoon.
I don't think
They're going to start knocking prices off them to try to get rid of their inventory.
Yep.
I don't think you're supposed to be smoking a cigarette right there, though.
Well, no, you're not supposed to. But I mean, you ain't supposed to be smoking a cigarette whenever you're pumping gas either. But like, how many dummies do it?
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. It's nothing I'm familiar with because again, fireworks, in this blue state, very illegal, and urbanized areas, very illegal here.
Yeah, they have them here. I mean, and we have every weekend in Louisiana somewhere there's some type of festival. We have the big, huge Christmas festival that's about an hour and a half south of me in Natchitoches, which is very huge. People from all over the U.S. comes to it. They do fireworks every Saturday night. Christmas Eve they do them. They've done them New Year's Eve. And they're huge. They're like 30-minute fireworks shows. So fireworks here are like really, really big.
Nice.
I actually got in trouble once years back. I won't give you guys the details, but Jaden was probably 2 or 3, and he was in the back seat of the car in his car seat, and I had pulled into a gas station to get gas, and I'm pumping the gas, and this truck pulls in to the pump right on the other side of us, and the guy gets out, and while he's pumping, he lights a cigarette. And I told him, I'm like, you need to put that cigarette out. I got a kid right here. Well, he wouldn't put the cigarette out. I ended up in all kinds of trouble.
What did you? How did you assault him? I'm assuming.
Went up and
remember we're on YouTube, Avery.
I didn't hit him, and I didn't physically touch him, but I went up and pulled the cigarette out of his mouth, and I got in trouble for it.
Gee, for that, did he press charges for that?
He didn't. I didn't go to jail, but I
Oh,
got in a little trouble. Yeah.
okay. Well, did the guy actually press charges for like assault for just you grabbing the cigarette
He-
out of his mouth?
Oh, he tried. Yep. He
Oh
tried.
wow.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have
Jesus.
got him too far because he's at a gas station. At a pump.
hmm
And there's signs all over pumps.
All
It's
over the place,
no
yeah.
smoking.
Exactly.
That's probably
Yeah.
the only reason I didn't go to jail, because simple
Yeah, at a
battery.
gas station for all places.
Yeah.
No,
Sorry.
no, I'm a former smoker myself, and I was ashamed when doing it because there's shame involved with it. I would never have done something. I always like kept my distance from people. I would never have in a gas station. That's just stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just as dumb as you. Go ahead and blow yourself up, dummy.
Yeah, why? Yeah, there's gases. It's jeez, that's just.
That ain't very intelligent.
Yeah.
I
I just walked right up and just pulled it right out of his mouth, and then I walked over to the grassy area and put it down and put it out with my shoe, and he was cussing and everything, and
Well, good for you.
Well,
Good
yeah,
for
because
you.
I mean, come on now, use your brain. You know you can't.
He's a
smoke
public. He's a
cigarette.
public safety danger, basically.
yeah.
Anybody
I mean, I
knows you can't do that at a pump.
should have arrested him and claimed citizen's arrest.
Yeah.
See, there you go. But wait, you couldn't have done that because you didn't have the fanny pack.
True.
Didn't have your
That is true.
gloves.
You
Yeah.
cannot go outside. No, you cannot. Oh boy, I guess their little sedatives are wearing off. They're not walking sideways.
Why would they be walking sideways?
They take sedatives for the fireworks, 4th
Oh.
of July, and New Year's because they're little dogs. They freak.
Oh, okay. I got you.
I
Yeah,
have little dog. I have little dogs soon. I gave him sedative. I think it's trazodone. Is what
that's what
I
they
gave him.
took. Trazodone.
Yeah,
50.
I gave that to my dogs too. Is that the dog in your picture, like a little miniature pincher? Very cute
That-
dog right there.
Yeah, that's the one he's not walking sideways anymore, are you, Tucker? Yeah, when I first gave it to him, they're 50 milligrams. They were all full or walking sideways.
Oh, good lord.
Yeah, I gave my dogs trazodone tonight as well because they don't like the fireworks either. Yeah, little dogs, they get scared. They get very scared. So, same boat.
Yeah, all my animals around here are used to stuff like that.
Oh, well, do you have bigger animals? You don't have, or
Well,
because
I
little
have.
dogs are like this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
they
have
did-
no little dogs. I don't like little dogs. They're too yappy for me.
Yes, that is very true. And
So
my two little dogs that just circle my girlfriend, they stay within like 5 meters of her every day. So but the next I would get is for me German Shepherd.
Oh yeah, those are very pretty.
We got
Yeah.
a blue heeler. He's a puppy. He's 12 weeks old. And then we got my
Wow.
granddaughter's Cocker Spaniel. She's 2 years old. And then the two dogs out back. But they're bigger dogs.
Is a blue heeler some sort of like hound dog or like what? I've never heard of that one.
They're like a cattle type dog.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. That means it's very smart because
Oh,
they're
yeah.
used to
He's
dealing
very
with cattle.
Hmm.
He's really smart for 12 weeks old.
He is so cute too.
Well, tell me.
Bentons are smart.
Well, okay, anybody tell me this? Like when I got my dog from the pound, he's like a little terrier mix. He knows he learned from the streets how to open a water bottle by chewing on it long enough and then drinking the water.
Mm-hmm.
Is that smart?
Yeah, that is.
Wait,
Poor baby.
King Scarlet, why is he giving me the side eye?
Who?
King Scarlet said, Riley, my dog is giving you the side eye, Lost. What did
Because
I,
you
what
said
did I
little
do to
dogs
Riley?
yap.
Oh, well,
I bet.
they are. They're yappy dogs. Little dogs
They are. Mine never shut up.
So,
He's giving you them dirty looks.
my
I
bad.
have two little dogs too, and I completely agree with Scarlett's take on that. And I've had them for 8 years.
I've never liked small breed dogs.
They
I
are. Yeah.
want a Siberian. Jesus Lord, they're still going at it. I want a Siberian Husky.
I
I've been
got-
It is.
watching-
It is too hot.
Those are
in the
hard to
South.
handle. Those
Yeah.
are like wild.
You would
I
have to. You
have
would have to
one.
get its own personal freezer for that dog.
I
I've
used
been
to,
watching videos of them and the things they do and the way they talk and stuff. Oh my
Mhm.
gosh.
it's true. They do it. I used to have one when I was like 15. This dog,
Wow.
she would climb a 6-foot privacy fence just to get out of the yard.
Jeez.
There was this one that I was watching today on YouTube. I think it's called the Blue Siberian Husky. I think that's the name of it.
Mm-hmm.
And he was throwing a fit because they had moved and they had not unpacked the TV, and he wanted to watch his cartoon Bluey.
Yep.
He was like crying, whining, arguing, fussing, throwing a complete fit. Well, they finally went and got the laptop and put Bluey on, and he zoned in on it watching and had little drops of drool coming down from his mouth because he was that happy that
Oh,
he was
that
getting
is-
to watch this cartoon.
That is
We
too
have
funny.
we have a basket of toys for Rocket, and we pick him up at nighttime when he goes to bed. And every morning, what he'll do is he'll walk over to the basket and take every toy out.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
everyone.
So you still have a Siberian Husky, Betty Joe?
No, I don't have it anymore.
Oh. No, there's a question. Like, you're an experienced dog owner, so Avery, you want to go from little dogs like that cute little pincher right there you
Mhm.
have there, to like a very hard to deal with dog. It
Mhm.
sounds like, Betty Joe. You're the
Yeah,
experienced
a
one on
Siberian
this.
Husky is very hyper.
Yeah,
Very.
Yeah.
they're the exact opposite of a little dog. They're ones that where you have to control them because, or else they'll eat you. You know,
Yeah.
they're like
really-
basically wolves.
Look, if she gets one, as long as it takes out the fanny pack, we're good.
The fanny packs are never going anywhere.
It's
fair.
got
If
to
you
chew the fanny packs up.
Let me tell you something. You get a Siberian Husky, they will go. Your shoes will go. Your fanny packs will go, because they're very hyper dogs and they like to chew.
I don't think it would last in the South anyway. It's too hot.
Well,
and
no,
humid.
because it's hot.
Oh, good point. They're
Yeah,
they're
it
used to the
is-
cold. Like
Yeah.
they're huskies.
It's very hot and humid down here in the summertime. It's
'Cause-
New Year's Eve and it's 50 here now and I'm burning up.
No, I
because-
bet they do shed a lot though.
Yeah,
Oh,
they do.
probably.
Because in the wintertime, we would let her outside. We would have her outside because she didn't want to be in the house. And then summertime, she wanted to be in the house because it was too hot outside.
Mhm.
Mm.
So,
No, but one thing, Betty Joe, like, could you speak about like how like for like a Siberian Husky, they need a strong hand. They need like somebody who that shows that they're the master, or else they're just gonna kill you,
Yeah.
basically.
That's not
And
me.
they're like little dogs are the exact opposite. They're
If
like
you don't-
they're like your little infants. They're like they look at you with like
you don't-
mommy and all this.
yeah, if you don't get one when they're a baby to teach them, then it's hard unless it's already been trained by somebody.
Have you ever had a little dog, Betty Joe?
I have a Jack Russell Terrier.
Oh, well, they're still kind of like normal
You know, he's hyper.
dogs. Yeah,
They
they're,
just like, no,
pretty-
he's hyper.
He's hyper. He's very hyper.
Yeah, I'm just not a small breed type of person. I never have
Yeah,
been.
I'm telling you, Avery. Again, with little dogs, they're not the same as regular sized dogs. You know, at least the little Chihuahua I have, she is not like a normal dog. So
Well,
for
I've
like a
had-
Siberian Husky, you need to be disciplined. And you have to they have
Yeah.
to know their role. But like a lot of little dogs don't know where their roles are.
I've
They
had
just- They're like little babies.
boxers. They're kind of medium sized, and I've had labs, a yellow lab and a black lab, and they were bigger dogs. I don't think they're as big as a.
The
As a
labs are
husky.
more like laid back.
Yeah, it's Siberian Huskies. I've seen a few of them, and they seem hard to control. They seem like one that you need somebody who's like a experienced dog owner that's going to discipline them. That's why I
I
was
have a
Yeah.
telling Betty Joe about that. Like
I have a lab.
they you have to lay down the law with them or else they'll take
Yeah.
over.
Yeah, they're not for gentle parenting people.
The
Yeah,
one
that's
that
why
I'm
it's hard to jump from like little dogs to Siberian Husky. That's like going the opposite direction, basically. I think.
the
Yeah,
one that I'm holding in the picture, that's Tucker. He's the one who I used to, if I was up here on panel and I was in the house, he would come up and he would hit the phone out of my hand over and over again and talk until Scarlett would say his name.
yeah.
Said
That was
all
me.
he wanted was for her to say his name and then he'd lay down and go to sleep. He would,
He's
You
living
don't
just
see
fine.
he has some control over you by doing that. Like the thing is, like with a husky, they can't even be allowed to go that far because if you let them do anything, they're gonna go way too far. You know.
yeah.
The husky
Yeah,
reads the phone.
These dogs, they run this household. We just live here.
Yeah. That's what it feels like here with the baby and the dogs. I feel like
Yeah, I
I
don't think I could actually handle any more because it gets hard enough just with how many I have. Because you have to do so much with them. You know, you got to brush their teeth every day and all that. There's just so much. Nail clipping is, oh, good grief.
Well, then you're fine with your dogs you have. But yeah, husky is like Siberian husky is the opposite end of the spectrum. You know.
Yeah.
That's what it, like for me. German Shepherd is as far as I'll go from like my little dogs because they're more trainable than a Siberian Husky.
You're making me rethink getting one.
you know
Well, yeah, I was personally thinking about getting a Rottweiler, but then I thought there's probably more problems associated, especially with little dogs. So in the end, I think German Shepherd because again,
Yeah.
Shepherd dog protect the flock, right?
Yeah.
Trainable. But yeah, no, you know what? I was actually thinking about Siberian Husky when along before too. But then I waited, and I saw some of them at the pound and stuff, and they seem like wild and crazy, and like they obviously
Mhm.
had like owners that didn't like had limits for them. They were like the most vicious dogs there, like even more vicious than like
Wow.
pit bulls.
They
They
were
seem like wild animals, like
Wow.
bears.
they were probably mistreated before they were
Right.
brought to the
Yeah.
pound.
Exactly, and those type of dogs, you can see how crazy they can be. So
well, that's just like with a pit bull. If it's not raised right, it's going to do the same thing.
that is true. Yeah, I blame the owner. I blame the owner as well. But
Yeah.
you know,
Well, I will say that is the only breed of dog that I will own.
Yeah, because if you raise them right, they're going to act right.
Well,
yeah, I know somebody who raised a pit bull right, and the pit bull was gentle and did not
Yeah.
cause any problems.
well,
But
we
Siberian
had
Huskies are near the wolf category, though, so you have to have an experienced dog owner that should deal with them. You know, it should. Dog owners' responsibility. You know, and the Husky seems like a tougher breed. It seems like one where you have to like put your foot down a lot more. So it's not something that anybody can own as a dog lover. I think and that's not a problem with the dog in itself. It's just like harder breed to own.
we had a really bad experience with a pit bull, and this was back in Arizona, so it was over 20 years ago. My sister had got this pit bull puppy. I think she was like 6 or 8 weeks old when she got her, and she'd had her for probably a little over 2 years, and she was loving, like, just we'd go over and have barbecues, out in the back and swim in the pool. She'd hop in the pool with us, like she was just so loving. And so one day we were over there just hanging out, and my sister's husband's family came over. His brother and his wife had just had their baby was, well, she was crawling, so probably maybe 6 months old. And they came in and they'd been there before, and I'm sitting on the couch, and she puts the baby down on the carpet and the baby's crawling, and out of nowhere, my sister's dog mauled the baby.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
The baby's alive. She lived. She's grown now, but her entire face is disfigured. She
Fuck.
had to have multiple surgeries, and of course they put my sister's dog down, but it
Right.
literally
Yes,
came
jeez.
from out of nowhere.
That's a good
And that-
point too.
Something wasn't
No.
right.
You know, Betty Joe, I agree with you on the most part that like most of these pit bull owners, they like tie them to like a tree and then they just stay in the backyard tied to a tree for their whole life, like can't move 6 feet and
Yep.
they go
Yeah.
crazy. But stories like this, like there is something built into them because you know, like a lot
yeah.
of dogs were made like it's a pit bull because they were bred to like hold down bulls in pits,
Right.
you know. So there is something in their innate nature that makes them aggressive and stuff. And
Yeah.
then that I think that's like a good point right there that you just made.
Yeah.
Just like, damn, like no,
Yeah, 'cause the
I
dog was
believe it
like-
completely. I'm sure
She
it's
was
like nice
like-
to everybody, and then it just
Yeah.
snapped. Like
She was
some
my-
instinct part of it did it.
She was my sister's baby. My sister used to put pajamas on this pit bull. Like,
Yeah.
she was-
Jesus.
Yeah, she was a part of our family, and it was horrifying. It was pretty awful. And I
Yeah.
think my sister and her husband ended up getting some kind of misdemeanor charges or something. I'm not quite sure how that all worked out because it was so many years ago. But
That's
yeah,
horrifying.
Yeah.
it really was.
Well,
and-
mine
and-
don't do nothing but sleep in his chair under his blanket. That's pretty much all he does all day, and eat.
Mhm.
That's literally all mine does.
Well, there's a guy down the road at the end of the street, and he has pit bulls. They're all tied to trees, like Montgomery was just saying.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
It's just
A lot of people
chains.
do that to him.
Yeah, it's just
You can't
chains. And in the winter, it gets so cold. And my neighbor across the street, the one who rescues animals, she gets the feeling so bad that she takes bales of hay down there and throws them over the fence
Jesus.
to these
And they
dogs.
eat that.
Well, for them to get warm, because
Yeah, well,
they're
somebody can
freezing.
turn him in if them dogs don't have proper shelter, and it's
Yeah,
not
when it's cold outside,
properly,
they should have.
they
Yeah,
can be
she-
turned in.
Yeah, she has turned them in many, many, many times, but we're in the county.
Disgusting.
I don't know, but yeah, it's always. I can't even drive that way because I don't want to pass those dogs. It's heartbreaking, so I go
Yeah.
the other way.
Part, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
and it's
Now,
that's
our
what they
dogs that
that's
are
what
out
people
back,
do.
Our dogs that are out back, if it gets too cold, we bring them in the house.
Oh yeah,
Good for
If it
you.
gets too hot, we
Good
bring
for
them in
you.
the house.
And what state are you in?
North Carolina.
you know.
Okay, well, hopefully it doesn't get. I don't know how cold it can get there. Like
Well, it's gotten
in
down-
Southern Cali, it never is cold, so
It's
that's
gotten
never a
down.
problem over here.
It's gotten down in the teens, so we
Colder
brought
than a
Wow.
witch's titty.
we brought them in quite a few times already. Right now,
No,
it's like in the 40s and 50s.
no, that's cool.
Yeah,
That's
so
nice.
right now it's not too bad.
Oh shit!
Cold.
Sorry.
No, I think I think that kids should like little toddlers should just not be around like full grown dogs either way. You know, like I don't think there's an inherent problem with pit bulls, but yeah, your story. I mean, I think that can happen with any type of dog too. So you know,
Yeah, I believe it could happen with any type of dog.
yeah,
That's
but
why
it's
we-
terrible.
Baby, we teach the
Yeah.
baby just like when they're eating, not to go near them, not to
Oh yeah,
play in their face.
yep.
She'll usually just take the toy and like throw it, and they'll go get it. But right now they're only puppies, so
But yeah, so many pit bulls are mistreated by people.
oh
They
yeah,
just
That is the truth.
people that don't care about them. They just want to
Yeah.
look cool or something. They don't care about them. They just tie them to a tree and just leave them in the backyard.
Yep.
And if you're a human being, you'd go crazy. And like dogs, they're very like emotional and they're very smart, so they go crazy too, just like a human
Yeah,
being
they
would.
do.
If you're just gonna be like tied to a tree, you can only move like 6 feet. Like
Mhm.
you can understand why a dog would go crazy.
Yeah.
And then they don't just secure the gate, and then they go out and they kill people.
Yeah.
It's the fault of the owners, and they should all be prosecuted.
That's why
Yeah,
ours.
I mean they have feel like look at we were just talking about having to medicate them, and like the reason I ended up going to the vet and getting something for my dogs is before I had the trazodone, when these fireworks would go off, my dogs would be literally trembling
Yeah.
like bad under the
Yes.
bed or in a corner, whimpering, crying, trembling
Yep.
uncontrollably.
That's
They
what
couldn't handle it.
that's what little dogs do. It bothers their senses.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I got trazodone first for like we got it for the wrong reasons. So like my girlfriend, we moved to Oxnard, and then we had like a good pet place where they got groomed. We came to here, and then we took them to PetSmart, and then they like my dog didn't like it, and he was growling at him. They're like, "Oh, you should get him medication or something." And then my girlfriend did it, and then she took him back to PetSmart, and then like my dog refused to go in there. He was just like
Somebody
growling, and he because
bad.
they're abusing him or something.
Yep. Yep.
So
Have you seen the
and then
stories on the internet about PetSmart and their grooming horror stories?
Yeah.
well, I can easily believe that. So afterward, like I told my girlfriend, I'm like, they're abusing them, and then they're telling you to take your dogs to get drugs so that they can because they treat them badly. So she takes them. She travels back to where we came from, like 40 miles, and they're fine. Like my dog is fine going there. He doesn't even need it for that. But like
Oh,
that PetSmart, they obviously mistreated him. He's
mhm.
smart enough to not want to go. He's smart enough to refuse to go back in there. But like
Mhm.
their first thing was to tell my girlfriend, yeah, you need to get him some anti-anxiety medication. So that's how we even got in the first place. But
Yeah.
we did get it, and then this is like the situation to use it for. So yeah,
Yeah.
when there's like these fireworks and stuff, because it really trips out these little small dogs.
Yeah, I only give it to them twice a year, 4th of July and New Year's Eve.
Yep.
Yeah, so basically like Benadryl. I mean, it makes them very sleepy, but at this point in time, it's good because there's like fireworks going off everywhere. And again, it's only 10:46 now, but fireworks have been going off for like 2-3 hours over here in LA, Oxnard,
Oh, wow.
Southern California area.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is illegal, but yeah, still.
It is
even with
funny,
that, it's-
though, when that medicine kicks in and they're walking sideways, and that does crack me up.
I never see him walk sideways. Like my dog. He just seems like very sleepy after he takes it. I never see him walk sideways. That'd be funny. I
Oh,
think.
mine does. Yeah. Yep. And then they'll finally
wrong.
just like collapse on a blanket, like they give up trying to walk around, and oh my goodness.
Oh no, y'all, I'm still here. I'm trying to read about something real quick. I was
She's
gonna
basically telling us she's not paying attention to us.
No, I can multitask tonight. I'm listening. I was reading something about the challenge in the autopsies in Louisiana.
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna read about it today and didn't have a chance to, and
So I
so
was going to tell you, I seen a case today. It just happened yesterday. It is a judge in Georgia. Okay,
Mhm.
he was not reelected,
Oh,
and he was 74 years old. Well, they don't know if he did it Monday night and found him this morning, or he did it early this morning and found him. But he took his own life in the courtroom sitting in his chair.
I
Yeah.
saw that.
Okay, so
I
check.
didn't read about it, but I did. I saw it. It was on Twitter somewhere. I
Yeah.
had seen.
Well, guess who's investigating it?
Who?
Both the county and GBI, the Georgia Bureau
Bureau
of
of
Investigation.
Well, did the local authorities ask GBI to come in?
I don't know.
I don't know. But they said now later on this afternoon because it was on the news, they said that he done it this morning.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I mean, and that I don't think they had any questions that he didn't do it to himself,
No.
you know, but they have the State Bureau investigating, so I don't understand.
Yeah, because they said he didn't get reelected into office.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that he took his own life because of that.
Mhm.
Well, I was going to read, when we was talking about it last night about the autopsy and all that for Crystal. And I was going to try to help her sister find out how to challenge uh,
Mhm.
the autopsy in Louisiana. And I had sent her, that thing that you had sent me. And
Mhm.
I was going to read about it earlier. And I didn't have a chance to because I was doing 10 million other things. And so I was trying to do that while I was sitting at my computer.
Yeah.
It's going to be a whole legal process. I mean, she can do it. It's just going to be a whole legal process that
Yeah. Yeah.
that she's going to. But she did tell me today, and I think I posted this in Discord, that Meta Mom had posted it on Twitter and tagged us all in it last night while I was live.
Mhm.
And she told me today that she had then had two people that had told her that they saw Crystal's case on Twitter from where it was posted.
Mhm.
And so she says now she feels like they're getting heard.
Yeah, and I'm terrible because we got off so late last night, and then I was so busy today. I still haven't shared it and tagged my people too, and or even sent out messages because Jaden had activities and stuff today, and
Yeah.
today was kind of busy.
Yeah. So, but
But I will.
okay. And Meta Mom, you're right. She said that Montgomery Scott may not know about the case that we're talking about. So, which is crazy because I'm 2 hours down the road and I didn't even know about it till just a few nights ago. But back on February the 9th of 2023, this lady Crystal, she was found deceased in her house, and they said that it was self-inflicted. Uh, the husband, a week prior to this happening, she had started tracking her husband, and she there was some stuff that she was thinking was going on. Infidelity was one of them. There was some issues with some underage girls in their martial arts studio that they own, so she began tracking him. Well, Crystal, the victim, her sister and her brother, from the very jump, does not believe that Crystal did this to herself. And they have been digging and going to basically up the chain of command with their local law enforcement, with the Louisiana State Police, everything that they can do to try to get this case reinvestigated. So the autopsy report had Crystal's name spelled incorrectly. There was a lot of different things that was on it that wasn't right. Within the autopsy report, they said that there was certain things that was unremarkable, but yet she had surgeries. So it makes you look at it and say, okay, they didn't even do a thorough autopsy on Crystal. So we're trying to help the family as best we can, get the story out, get as many people as possible to hear about it, trying to get more than just the local media, because like I told her, just the local media, it's not going to go anywhere. Once it hits social media, it's gonna, so many people are going to hear about it. So now I'm trying to figure out how she can challenge this autopsy, even though another one can't be done because the husband had her cremated. You know, there's still she's working tirelessly. I will put it that way, to try to get her sister's story heard and reinvestigated. So
Much respect for you for bringing up a topic like this, because we've seen this many times in the past. You
Mhm.
know, it's just like a week before this and that, like
Yeah.
the woman is investigating the guy for cheating or something, and then she ends up dead. Yeah, get it out there as soon as possible. Great
Well,
stuff.
and what the thing is, though, the husband worked for the local sheriff, our parish. Well, not my parish, but we have parishes here in Louisiana, and so he worked for the parish that he lived in. He worked for the parish sheriff's department. Uh, and you
What's
can
a parish, by the way?
So
I'm not rural.
a parish is like what other states have counties, but it's basically the same thing, but we call them parishes here.
Oh, okay.
And but he worked for the local parish sheriff's department, so obviously the sheriff's department is going to do their part to cover it up. And he ended up, the sister had given Crystal a laptop, so she asked the husband for it back. He willingly gave her the laptop, but did not delete nothing on it. And that is how she found out that her sister was tracking his locations, got all of the locations of the day that she passed away. Like, she has found so much. She sent me a document the other day that was 90 pages long with receipts for everything that she has found. There's, I don't know how many, probably what, Avery, 100 different links in this 90-page document.
Yeah,
or
there's
more.
a lot.
That they have dug into and found, and you know, just all of this different stuff that she's getting on this guy. And she's went to the local sheriff's department. They keep saying, oh, you know, he didn't do it. You know, your sister did this to herself. I don't believe that she did it to herself. There's just too much stuff that they have found that would say that she didn't do it to herself. But whenever they came in, they removed the body from the house. The cleanup crew came in, you know, and does their thing. A week later, because to begin with, they couldn't find the spent shell casing. A week later, the husband, ends up finding the shell casing on a table that had previously had a photo taken of the crime scene, that the shell casing was not on that table. But
very suspicious.
Yes, there's a whole, just a slew of different stuff. She's got a Facebook group that she's got going on, that she's putting all of this information in there just to get her sister's case heard. She's got a petition up. You know, this coming up February will be 2 years since it happened. And her and the brother has been going from day one of trying to get this, you know, re-looked at. And so I feel horrible for this family. Her mom is still alive. You know, she's trying to do what she can without, you know, she doesn't want the mom to get upset, which is understandable. There's certain things that the brother can handle. So she's basically just took it all on herself.
Like she's the rock. The rock of them. Yeah.
Wow.
And she's young, you know, to be doing all of that.
Because when Crystal passed away, she was 43, and Jana is, she said, 10 years younger than Crystal. So
she's what, 35 now?
Yeah, so she would be about 35 now, and she's doing, on top of the fact that she has kids.
Yep.
And
works. I think.
Right.
She works, yeah.
So, you know,
strong woman, I can give you that.
Yes, because I still haven't listened to the audio, because she went in the state of Louisiana, you can go in and have a conversation with someone, and you can record them without asking their permission or even letting them know that you're recording them. As long as you're part of that conversation.
Consent state, yes.
Yes. And so every conversation that she had with law enforcement, the DA, whatever, it was all recorded. And then what she did is she went in and she transcribed these recordings and put them into this 90-page document. Now, I didn't listen to the recording of the sheriff, but I read out what she had transcribed, and she did it verbatim. she handled it way better than what I could have, because he talked so bad to her and he talked down to her and kept saying, I don't mean to have this tone of voice with you, just all of this stuff. And I told her last time, I was like, I would not have been able to sit there and listen to
Yeah.
it.
When you listen to it, when he's not having the tone, he's very condescending and very patronizing.
And she's a better woman than me because I was tore him up.
Yeah, because y'all know how I am. Y'all know
Yep.
how I am about how men speak to women. You talk down to a woman, I will flip out on you. I don't like it at all. And that,
Yeah.
just reading
Good for you.
the transcription of the conversation, it pissed me off. But I know that she has a goal, and that goal is to get her sister's story heard and reopened and reinvestigated. And so I understand why she sat there and didn't get back with him. And
Oh.
she's a very strong person. I let me tell you, because she has got billboards up. She's got one going up, I think she said January the 22nd over there, and it's going to be right literally across the street from the sheriff's department.
Nice.
Mhm.
Which I think is awesome, because every time they walk out of that department or they go to work, they need to be able to see Crystal's face.
Right.
And so she's provided receipts for everything. Like, she has covered everything.
She's on it.
Yeah, she is on top of all of it. And so like I told her today, she kept thanking me so much for talking about the case. And I told her, just whatever I can do to help. So I'm trying to find how to challenge an autopsy report in the state of Louisiana.
Oh, can I say one thing, Scarlett?
Sure.
No, I gather, because like I'm a true crime person, and I am definitely a victim's advocate, with a
Mhm.
lot of things. I figured that this I joined your podcast. I didn't know what your podcast was about. Obviously, you're into true crime, but like victim advocacy, wow, I respect you so much. That is so great that you're bringing attention to these type of things, and you're making a difference. So respect.
Well,
Yeah.
A lot of respect coming from me.
It's not just me, though. It's literally everybody who comes in here in the chat. We're in Discord talking about it.
All of you,
Yeah,
Betty,
and
Joe, Avery,
Yes.
bringing attention to these things. And again, if you're wrong about this, fine. Bring out all the facts. Let everybody know what's happening.
Right.
Let everybody know what's going on with this.
Right.
This it sounds like you're like one of the few people that are bringing attention to this case, like the family did, and then you're broadcasting it more. So
Yeah, I think
respect for this.
I've done one. I know Dago done a live on it. Arctic Fox, I believe, did one on it, and then there was another channel. I forgot the name of it. So so far, including mine, I've seen 4 different channels has done it, and then we shared it on Twitter last night as well. And it's getting shared out from that post that one of my mods did. So it's starting to, people outside of, and look where they live at, it's a very rural area, so it, like I told her, once it hits social media, it's going to go way further than just Monroe, Bastrop, and Oak Grove, Louisiana.
Yeah.
It's going to go way past that. So
it's very cool that like one of your mods brought up the fact to explain that situation again. Maybe you should explain that situation like before, like any podcast where you talk about it too. That's a very good point.
Mm-hmm.
So just hearing it just like crazy, and we've seen so many cases before where it's stuff like this, but you're bringing it to attention early. So maybe like like we've seen like all these like old cases where like not Jeffrey Dahmer, these other people, they got released and they got to they keep committing crimes. So many of these serial killers kept doing things because early on they were just released and let go, and like they weren't thoroughly investigated. So you bringing up like these points early on and like bring it to like attention to people. I mean, that could save lives.
And
Right.
this guy
It really
needs
can.
to, like, whether this guy's involved or not, he at least needs to be investigated because he already has a new fiance living
Yeah.
in the
Absolutely.
house.
What was it? 4 days after his wife passed away. And because everything was going through his Google account when he would search for something on his phone or whatever, it was showing up on this laptop that the sister had, because it was Crystal who passed away. She had logged into his Google account so she could see
Mhm.
everything.
Yeah.
And so 4 days after Crystal passed away, he was Googling how soon is too soon to start dating after your spouse passes away.
Yep, not
It-
necessarily guilty, but he's an asshole, and it
Well,
should be brought to national attention. We should bring that up because that's a very good motive.
Right.
It's not
Well,
he's not necessarily guilty, but that's
it-
very bad. That
when-
is very bad.
So before they cremated her, they had a viewing, or like a small funeral service. He comes to the funeral home with a female that is not kin to him at all to view his wife's body, and the funeral director had to tell him it is that does not look appropriate for you to bring a female to view your wife's body that is not your family.
Sounds like a narcissist that doesn't care, that is guilty of murder.
He didn't care, and there's some other things I can't speak on them right now, but there are some other. Yeah, I'm waiting. I've got to get the clear from Jana, the sister, first. But he is being investigated for some other stuff that happened in the past. That I do believe that the Louisiana State Police has, because they turned some stuff over to them as well about it. But once I know for sure that I can speak on that, because I have no problem putting this dude on blast.
Oh, no.
At all. I will show his picture. I will put his name. I will put where he lives at. I don't care.
The formula fits. How many times has this happened before? The formula fits. So, again, early calling it like like a year from now, he's convicted of murder and stuff.
Mhm.
Early calling it because, again, the formula fits. How many times have we seen this? We've seen
lot.
the same thing so many times, and these
Yeah.
people should be called out.
Well, I
So,
mean, look at Chad Daybell. He took his wife's life so he can be with Lori, and he thought he got away with it, but he didn't have Tammy, his wife, cremated. So when they exhumed the body and did an autopsy, they found out that she had been murdered, and now he's sitting on death row in the state of Idaho.
You know what's crazy about that? Remember how the brother who committed suicide killed that one guy, the ex or somebody, but he killed him, and then he said it was self-defense when he lured him somewhere and then he shot him, right? I remember that.
Oh, you're talking about
Lori's brother, who was the
Alex.
Executioner guy. Yeah, Alex. So he killed the person he killed, the guy that he killed, besides the kids. He lured him somewhere, and then he shot him. And then the cop said it was self-defense.
Oh, that was Lori's husband.
Yeah.
That
and
was
then they said it was
Jason's
self-defense.
daddy. Yeah, and it wasn't.
They're so inept. That's why it's great that people like you are bringing this stuff out. Just put it out there. Put all the evidence out there, because there's a lot of ineptness everywhere.
Right.
So we got to put the facts out there. So
I don't
you
put
are a
anything
great
out
person
unless I have the facts. I'm not going to put it out, and I don't let people come into my chat and say, this and this, and not have the facts to back up what they're stating. There's too much of that on YouTube where people just think that it's so much fun to put out whatever for clicks and views, and I don't do that.
Yeah, and then I think because we all follow this stuff. So that Lloyd Daybell brother thing, on my own, I'm just reading about the case, right? How is it that he lured some guy out and killed him, and then the cops just it's self-defense?
Well, that's because Lori.
It's not self-defense when you start the confrontation.
Right.
We all follow the law, but somehow they decided that for Lori Daybell's brother, her executioner.
He was hit in the back of the head with a bat. Alex was, but they said that Charles, which was Lori's estranged husband, father to JJ. They're claiming that Charles hit him in the back of the head with a bat. I think that Lori hit him in the back of the head with a bat to make a mark
Yeah.
back there,
Mhm.
and
Right.
that way they could say that it was self-defense.
Very easy to do. Very easy to
Exactly. But I also
Jeez.
think that
do. They didn't investigate it
Lori-
enough.
No, they didn't. And on the just for the simple fact that Charles went to the local police there in Arizona begging for them to bring Lori in and put her on a psych hold because of how she was doing and stuff like that. And I still to this day think that Lori had something to do with Alex passing away.
Well, who cares if she did? Who cares? But did you like? I just saw like the Netflix like home videos, of, like her with her daughter that she killed, that she had killed and stuff, and
Yeah.
her son.
Mhm.
I mean, that is like very unnerving, you know. So
Yeah.
Well-
if she had anything to do with her stupid brother getting killed, the guy that killed her kids and killed her husband, her ex-husband, I have no sympathy. I don't care if that was. But you remember, like, if you watch a trial, like, they showed an interrogation where like her son's like, "What the hell," you know, and then she's like,
Mhm.
"I don't have to explain myself to you," like, you know, her narcissism
she
and all
is-
that.
She's
She is a disgusting person, you know.
well, I mean, now she's
Even
in
her
Arizona.
son saw that.
Yeah, and now she's in Arizona to go to. She's supposed to be going to trial for the murder of Charles and attempted murder on her niece's ex-husband. So
Yeah, you like it wasn't like I did. We all see like when her son was like, "Why?" Like he was like asking her about. She's like, "I don't have to explain anything to you." You know?
Oh,
you
yeah,
remember
she talks
when,
down to
like the son
Colby.
was just like, yeah, like her son was
Yeah.
just like saying like, "What happened? Why? Like, why is this happening?" You know? And then she's like, "I don't have to explain anything to you."
Yep.
And then like I did watch a good amount of the trial, and then like they were saying like she's a narcissist. She only cares about herself, and she just always lived that way. And then that's exactly how she seems to be.
And
Yes.
isn't she representing herself in Arizona?
She
The
was-
last thing
I
I,
wouldn't be
saw
surprised.
she was that she was so she went because they said that she wasn't competent, and apparently now she is competent, which obviously she was going to be because she pulled that same thing in the state of Idaho, and she was in a hospital for what was it 9 or 10 months, and they finally said she was competent to stand trial. Well, the last thing that I had heard about the case is that, she was supposed to be representing herself, but I haven't looked anything else into it. Hey, sweet Melissa, how are you? I need to go catch back up on that because I know Chad he was sentenced to death. I'm pretty sure there's going to be appeals coming out with that or whatever. But I haven't kept up with a whole lot with her case in Arizona.
No, yeah, you know, I'm a feminist. I think women should be sentenced the same as men. So yeah, she should be sentenced to death too.
But
As a
I
feminist.
agree. I completely agree. I wanted her to get the DP in the state of Idaho, but the reason why they didn't is because the state had messed up and there was something that they didn't send over to them and they got sanctioned for it. And then they were like, her attorneys was like, okay, well, since they didn't do what they were supposed to do, how about we take the DP off the table? And that's what they did. Now in Arizona, I don't believe Arizona is a capital punishment state.
Oh.
I don't think. But she is serving life in Idaho. So once she's done in Arizona, they're going to send her back to prison in Idaho. But as far as the brother, I have no sympathy that he died because of what he did to Tylee and JJ. But I wish that he would have been alive and could have been arrested and would have went to trial and he would have gotten the death penalty too. Because his part of what happened to Tylee and JJ, he should have been held accountable for it. And I think that Lori got rid of Alex so Alex couldn't talk because she was so full of her own
Right.
self that
Yep.
she actually thought she was going to get away with this.
No, in the very least, this evil guy, if he felt sorry about it, instead of killing himself, he should have testified against his sister. You know, if he felt sorry about killing those little kids,
Yeah, but he didn't.
he took the easy way out.
Yeah, he didn't care though. That was the thing.
Scarlett, Arizona is a death
He killed about
penalty
himself.
state.
Is it?
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, they probably don't. I don't know if they apply it so much. They're up in the air about everything.
They had paused executions, but they're resuming.
Okay.
They paused them for 2 years, but they're resuming them in 2025.
Okay, okay. So that's where I had read that it wasn't. I didn't know that they were bringing it back.
Well, they
Okay,
didn't
well,
ever. They didn't ever. They didn't ever.
not get rid of it
They
completely, but
they just did a temporary pause
hold on.
because of I
Not
think they weren't able to get a hold of the like how Idaho might not be able to get a hold of the
The
lethal.
chemicals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Okay.
all of us follow true crime. We know she's not getting the death penalty.
you
Either
don't
way.
think so?
No, she's
I
not.
hope she does.
I do too.
She'd be one of the very few that does.
I think they
But
would have
yeah.
announced it by now, though, if she was. If it
No,
was
but
going to
you know
be
how,
a
like,
DP case.
Again, yeah, but like it's always about like plead guilty, not have the death penalty on the case. How many criminals have taken that option? Most have. It's just very few have not taken that option.
Yeah.
She's already in jail for life, so she has nothing to lose by taking a plea deal and just not, getting into DP. So there's no point in her trying to go against it. She is a narcissist,
Right.
but she's in jail for the rest of her life, no matter what. So I
Oh,
don't.
yeah.
So yeah, there's no point in her trying to go into trial with death penalty on the books.
So her crimes were in Arizona first, so she'd have to serve out her time in Arizona first, right, before going back to Idaho.
I don't know how they're going to work that out.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's
Tiff,
the
Happy
thing.
New Year. So,
That's
okay,
the whole
so
thing.
Tonka said, wasn't some of the charges against Lori Daybell federal? I can't remember. They were not.
It was a state trial. It wasn't. It was a state trial, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
for
but
Idaho.
I don't remember.
Well, that's
though,
what we're
if
talking
she
about.
had-
Like she'd have to go to Arizona for the other thing. Yeah.
Yeah, because she's in Arizona right now for the stuff going on with the murder of Charles and all that. But
It's good. It's good to ask those questions, right? Because we want to be based on facts, So that's a good thing to bring that up.
I can't remember if. Hey, Gigi, Happy New Year. I can't remember if any of her stuff, and I don't where the notes for Lori's case are at.
It says Idaho.
idea.
No, so for trials, I'm looking it up. It's Idaho. So it was Idaho where she was charged.
Yeah, that's
and,
where she
sentenced.
was. Yeah,
So,
that's
yeah,
where
so-
she's got
and
the
just
life
and
sentence.
just that was noted. Yeah, her next one is Arizona. So yeah,
Yeah,
nothing
so-
federal.
Yeah, I was trying to think what could make it federal. Like I couldn't
No,
think of
she
anything.
killed them in like the states that. She must
Yeah.
have killed them in Idaho, right?
Well,
Yeah.
they were murdered in the state of Idaho, JJ and Tally, where Charles was murdered in the state of Arizona. But Charles's murder
Oh.
happened before they went to the state of Idaho.
Yeah.
Yeah, and remember before they caught her, were you guys following it before they caught her? Like, they found like when they disappeared, she had her daughter's cell phone and like her storage container and all this other stuff.
Oh yeah,
It
that's
just
when
proved
her
everything.
and
Even
yeah.
before they found the bodies, and then they found it at her new husband's house. Just like
on his property.
she was.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all
Well-
knew she done it before they found the bodies.
Nate Eaton is the one that found her in Hawaii. Somebody had got in touch with him and told him that they had seen her and Chad in Hawaii, and he flew out there.
Yeah,
And
Nate
Nice.
Eaton, he's a little badass.
Good for
He
him. Good for
he
him.
found her and walked up to her and was like, "Hey, where are your kids at?"
Yeah.
And I forgot
Oh,
what
was that
she
the body
said.
cam? Well, I saw the body cam arrest of her. by
Okay,
the
no,
police.
this was before she was arrested. This was
Oh
oh
no,
God,
but she
this-
seemed surprised when I'm sure you all saw like the body cam footage when like the police actually arrested him.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Hawaii.
yeah. I followed when they were
She
putting her on the
seemed-
airplane and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
Nate
she
went up
seemed
to her.
surprised.
Nate went up to her with his camera people and asked her, where are your children at?
Mhm.
Wow.
And
So
she
was
said
still surprised
something.
when the cops came after her later.
yeah.
then. That's crazy.
But
That's
she
one thing I
was-
didn't know.
She was very surprised by Nate Eaton, and then she said something, and then he was like, well, I have so and so kids, and I know where all of my kids are.
Yeah.
course.
He just kept
Yeah.
asking her, "Where are your kids, Lori? Where is Tylee and JJ?" And she never would.
Right.
Never would
Wow.
say anything.
Mm.
So yeah.
There is some pure evil in this world.
Yeah, and we see it every day with these cases. I'm just hoping 2025 will be better.
No,
Probably won't be, but I'm hoping it will be. So
no, there's always going to be these monsters, unfortunately.
I know.
Do you guys have any of you or even people in chat have any resolutions?
That Brian Koberger gets the death penalty. No, I'm just kidding.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Wait,
Well, he already got the death penalty, but you know what I meant.
did you not see what I posted in Discord, Avery?
Oh,
Oh, wait, you didn't see it.
I've
Hold on.
seen your little smart ass resolution.
Okay, yes. So mine is don't expect any New Year's resolutions from me. I intend on saying the same awkward, outspoken delight that you have all come to love and know.
Yeah, me too.
What about you, Montgomery? Do you have any?
No, well, sure. Like last year, I weighed 50 pounds more, and but I've been boxing. I'm trained by a former IBF featherweight champion, and I've gotten some pretty good shape. But yeah, I could lose another 20 pounds, get a little more cut, you know. But yeah, I went from not working out at all to at the gym like 3 days a week boxing. So I love it.
Oh, wow.
And you know, this year maybe I'll do 4 days a week boxing. You know.
What about you, Betty Jo?
What? What do you want me to do?
Do you have any resolutions?
Nobody has to have a resolution.
I have.
but
do
you
I
know.
have any resolutions?
So we
Yeah.
all try to better ourselves, no matter the beginning of the year or the end of the year. I mean, I think we should be able to decide it at any point in the year, right?
I live a boring life. I mean, what else am I going to do?
Oh, come on, Betty Jo. You do not.
Gotta have something.
That's my resolution, just to stay exactly how I am.
That's exactly it. That's me too.
Tonka.
Keep up the true crime podcast and bring attention to what you're doing already is just amazing. So all of you, props from here.
I have a resolution, a New Year's resolution.
Hold on, Tonka. I'm looking real quick. Go ahead, Avery.
I'm not going to date any dickheads this year.
Good for you. That's hard to do, but you know, because like if you're used to dating dickheads, based on what you just said,
Just one.
then that's what I mean. Then that's what your natural instincts might lean towards. So you're trying to fight against your natural instincts because you know the girls that date dickheads always date dickheads, right?
I don't know. This was my first. Well, yeah. Well, now. Well, second, but I've only had three.
Once,
I've only
first,
had
second,
three.
maybe third or fourth.
I've only had 3 real relationships. So, but yeah, that's my New Year's resolution.
that's a
Tonka,
good one,
when
'cause
was
it's
the
hard to go
last
against
time that
instincts.
came out? Hold on, y'all, real quick. Tonka, when was the last date that a document came out on Kohlberger?
Let's go in the room.
Wow.
She was asking if we had saw the new documents out on that, but
Oh no, I haven't.
I haven't. I used to go to that website every single day when I got up and sit down at my computer, and it's just, I want the trial to happen. That's what I'm
I
waiting
keep
on.
waiting for him to get federal charges because if you travel from one state to another with a weapon with intent to, you know, that would
They
be
usually
federal.
wait, don't they?
Well, I don't know because like Luigi Mangione, they've already charged him state and federal.
Well, who do you want to get federal charges?
I'm not saying I want, but I've been expecting Brian Koberger to get federal.
Well, you know
charges.
why they did Luigi's federal charges? They did that so he would get the DP. It would become a DP case. That's
So
I think
Yeah, but
that's
it's Kohlberg is a DP case, right?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Oh,
I
okay.
believe the reason why he hasn't is because his is already a death penalty case. Where Luigi's in New York, the
Mhm.
only way you could get the death penalty is federal charges.
Yeah,
Mm.
Wow,
because
I
it's
see.
not a capital
In New York,
punishment state. Okay, Tonka, the last thing I see on here is the 20th. Let me hold on. Because I
It
know
doesn't seem like
sometimes
there's been much no news about Kohlberger recently. A good topic discussion. I love all these topic discussions.
let me,
Stuff
People were
stuff I
going.
follow as well. Yeah, and
People.
you know what? I follow the Snapchat stuff. Libby German, Abigail Williams from the beginning,
Oh
and
yeah.
yeah, and then for five, you know what's crazy? For 5 years, the guy who I'm sure they got the guy who did it, but like they knew he was at that park, that like railroad at the time, and he was dressed the same way, and people saw him, but they never re-interviewed him after like talking to him once, and they say it's because they lost it. That is terrible. That is just
He,
that is
I think
terrible.
I got the what oh crap, I just lost my whole train of thought. I got to partially kind of work a bit of that case. I like unpaid, but just because I knew the person who was hired as the fact finding investigator before the first defense team was let go. So I got a lot of information, and I do not believe that Richard Allen is guilty.
no, I don't either.
Well, some people don't believe that, but my thing is, he looks like the guy. He was there at the time. The rifle cycled cartridge is good evidence. You can't just dismiss that evidence. And they only looked at that evidence because they dismissed him for several years. Then they look back to like, oh, he does look like the guy. And then they investigate him a little bit more. They searched his house, and then they found like his gun, and it matched the cartridge. That's very compelling. Now you can bring up other things for that, and that's perfectly fine. But again, that's a lot of good evidence right there. But I think
the
it is.
lady, the lady said though that she couldn't say 100% that that was the same cartridge. That she tried to,
They never can. They never can. But it's
and that's a
the
really
thing is they
common
can.
type of.
Yeah. But it's the thing is like with like when they inject that pin or whatever, it's still very close. They may not say 100%, but it's again, if you really look into this, it's like somewhere in the 90s, you know. And
Yeah.
and we've seen all these trials; they'll never say 100% ever, but
he'd been out there.
It.
He'd been out there a lot though, because he was an avid hiker, and he had been out there a lot. And I'm sure, there were times when he was out there just shooting. I don't.
I think it was cops' ineptness, because I think let's say that I'm right, and like maybe you're right, but let's say I'm right. They should have got him soon after the crime, and that's their failing, because he looks like the guy. He was there at the time. People saw him there. He was dressed as the guy in the picture. They took pictures of him. Let's say it's him. Let's say for a fact that let's say it is him. They took video of him, and that still wasn't enough. And then 5 years later, they're like, oh wait, he was dressed that way. He looks like the guy. He was there. He this and that. Oh, maybe we should look into him a little bit more. They should have done this 5 years ago, for sure.
Yeah, I
again,
agree
that's
with that.
That's the same with that reason. But like the cartridge, at the very least, I'm sure like it's over 90%.
Called him up to tip saying he was there.
Yeah. Well, no, he went up to the park ranger and told them that he was there.
That is true. That is true. But
I just watched
they should have known. How would he not? Like if he looks like the guy, if he looks like a guy and he's dressed the same, why did they leave him alone for 5 years? Because they're inept. And that's exactly why this program is a good program, because you just got to bring up all the facts, because they messed up. The cops have messed up so many times, and just say for the sake of argument, I'm right. The cops have messed
Yeah.
up so many times, so many serial killers. They've let them get away with so many things.
Well, why there's too many unanswered questions. Like, why did Ron Logan lie about his alibi? What about
Yeah.
the men who lured these girls there?
Yeah, well, yeah, I know you're talking about the property owner because I follow just like all three of you.
Yeah.
I love the true crime stuff.
Wait, I didn't follow that case, so
He was a property owner where the bodies were found, and he was definitely not the bridge guy. He doesn't look like him.
And if you
he did lie to the police at first.
And
that's what she's bringing up.
when he said down the hill on the news, the PI took that and took the clip from the phone and paid a professional voice analyzer. Of course, this didn't make it to court because that whole defense team got dropped. And it was a match.
No, well, that's what the defense has said, but in court, the FBI guy who listened to all of Richard Allen's calls said for sure that was the same guy that said down the hill. We're talking about an actual witness. We're not talking about speculative. That whole news thing that you're talking about is speculative. So yeah, again, here's the thing. I think that again, you're entitled to your opinion, but if they pronounced him not guilty, I think that the evidence mostly shows that he is. If he was pronounced not guilty, let's say he did it, and I'm very sure he did. And I don't always believe. Again, I'm very hesitant to believe anything. That's why. So I think that they made the right decision, and they didn't let this monster that killed 2 girls go. And I think that the real problem is that the cops took 5 years to get this guy who, imagine this, he let's say it's him. He was going to rape them, but he murdered 2 little girls. One of them got him on camera live on Snapchat and stuff, and it took them 5 years to look into him. That is insane. It's insane that they took that long to even look into Richard Allen.
Yeah, I agree with that part. I just don't think if I was on the jury, I could have. I think I
Well,
could
keep in
have.
mind that they've seen the whole story. Think about this. You mentioned like how somebody like they heard you heard somebody who like talked to the person that owned the property, and then they heard another voice analyst. That's TV stuff. They listened to the actual evidence, and they saw.
But that was Ronald Logan that said it.
He was true, but like the jury saw the actual evidence, and with Richard Allen's like great attorneys, they heard everything they had to say. And with everything they had to say, they were the best attorneys ever. Those were like the best defense attorneys I've ever seen. And even with their best defense attorneys, all 12 of them, while looking at the evidence that we did not see, decided that he was guilty.
Wait, who had the best attorneys? I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. Who did you say had the best attorneys?
The Delphi murders guy had a very, very good attorneys.
Richard Allen. Yeah.
Wait, aren't they the ones
good at trying to bring in doubt?
But aren't they the ones that leaked stuff?
No.
Yes, they were, and
but
so they leaked photos, and so the judge disclosed them, and then they took it up to a higher court, and then the court decided that they couldn't be disclosed because they leaked the photos, so they were allowed to be retained by him.
Yeah, because it wasn't the attorneys that leaked the photos.
No,
it
was his office. It was from their. Yeah. It was from their jurisdiction that it came out.
Okay.
Right.
And so the judge that was in charge of it said like, okay, you can't even have them as attorneys. So they fought that and they won that, and so they came back based on that, but it was definitely concluded that it came from their office, that the leaks came from.
Yeah, I think it
So
was
yeah, they were
a
great attorneys
fired.
too.
I think it was like a fired employee, a disgruntled employee or something. That
Well,
wasn't
either
it?
way, well, they could say whatever they want, but it still came from them.
Right.
It came from their office. So yeah, that was the whole story. So yeah, and I'm telling you, they had great attorney. He had great attorneys, and they fought it very well. But even
I
without
still
great
couldn't.
attorneys, he was all 12 jurors. They saw all the evidence, and then they decided on him, and that's why I think that they're right about it, because he had, like, most people cannot afford attorneys like this. They like they'll make, like, you wake up tomorrow morning, they'll make you think it's tomorrow morning is Wednesday, they'll make you think it's Saturday. They're very good. They're very good attorneys, and then they still lost. So that's why I say that
You can't
guilty.
leave the lid off, baby.
I just
And
don't
the
think I
evidence.
could have found guilty beyond reasonable doubt because I just have too many doubts about.
Right,
And
but you
there's
weren't on. Yeah, but you didn't see the evidence. You weren't on the jury. You heard it in the media, and those
Yeah.
like his attorneys were all in the media. His defense attorneys were all in the media, and they made everybody feel a lot of doubt.
And
There's
that
a lot of
case
people
wasn't
felt that
live
because of
streamed,
the-
was it?
No.
No,
Okay.
there was no coverage at all from the trial.
No,
So-
Judge Gall made them put black trash bags over every
Okay, yeah, that's right. I remember that.
Yeah, so everything we heard everything that you heard, Avery, was basically from the defense attorneys, and they're very good in the public sphere. They're very good at, like, persuading you and a lot of other people that he was not guilty. But the
Well,
trial was
I
not
listened
live streamed.
I
Yeah.
listened to what's her name, Lauren from Hidden True Crime. She was
Yeah.
in court every day, and she detailed out everything.
Right, and she still agreed. I think she still agreed that he was guilty
Did
in
she?
the end. Yeah,
Wow.
I think I followed the same thing as you. Was it that one blonde girl that was always at, like, the court appearances and stuff?
Yeah, that's.
Yeah,
I think her name's
I
Lauren.
watched her too, and then, like, even the sketches of the autopsies and stuff. Yeah, great to watch. Yeah, she was at the trial every day, and she still thought he was guilty as well.
Mhm.
So that's what I'm just saying, Avery. I respect your opinion, but the jurors saw all the evidence. Everybody who was at the trial saw all the evidence, and they thought that the same thing. But my thing is just that they had great attorneys, and he had a great attorneys. But he's responsible for this. I think everybody can rest easy because the guy that actually did it is put away. But my problem is that it took 5 years for the cops to arrest him.
Yeah. I get that.
Yeah, and again, I could be wrong, but I think I bring up a good point about this. The media,
You do.
like, defense
Yeah, you
attorneys
do.
were very good in the media. I admit that they were very good, and he has very good defense attorneys. And everybody's entitled to great defense attorneys too.
Yeah. I mean, I can see what you're saying too, but I don't know, if I have any doubt at all, then
No, there's always going to be doubt, but it's reasonable doubt, right?
yeah.
So he was there. He looks like the guy. He was dressed like the guy. His gun matches the gun that the bullets came from. I think that's enough. Remember, reasonable doubt, right?
I don't know. I didn't follow that case at all, so I can't speak on it.
Oh goodness. I watched
The Snapchat
Lauren
murders.
every night. I watched Lauren every evening, took the whole recap of every day of trial.
Now, I
Yeah.
remember when it happened. It's because it was so famous because they took one of the murder victims took a picture of the guy on.
Yeah, I
walking
remember
towards them.
seeing that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was just waiting for them to catch the guy, and then when they finally did, it just surprised me. They supposedly had, like, agents, and they had federal agents, they had, like, dozens of agents doing it, but the reason why they didn't catch the guy and this guy was there. He was admitted to being there. People saw him there. He looked like the guy. He dressed like the guy. He talked to like one park ranger once when it happened, and he was never interviewed again for 5 years. And
Yeah,
then
they were
and then-
going back through everything and found his statement that he had given to the park ranger. And
that shows their ineptness. Yeah.
Hold on
that's
one
when
second,
they-
y'all.
yeah, that's when they started looking back into him. But
And
I
then they
don't know.
searched his house. No, and then they searched this house, and they found that his gun matched the same gun that unspent bullet came from when he like chambered around.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's very, you know, and it wasn't a shot round, which is like he had a gun. They
Yeah.
said on the video that the girl said that they saw a gun, and then like near their bodies, they have the unspent round, which they figured that to scare him, he like, you know, and then like it came out, and
Mhm.
it matched the same things in the gun. And I looked it up. That's over 90% accurate. I mean, it's very accurate. That type of science, you know, it's not something like you know, like bite marks on a body that can be stretched, or you know, like there's some doubt, you know, like when you try to like you know, there's been like, you know, talks about those cases where like bite marks on a person like don't
Mhm.
match the person because skin stretches and you don't know it, all this other stuff. We're talking about metal on metal here, right? So like when he
You have to
did
go
that gun
back
thing,
and listen to the testimony of that expert witness, because I remember
everything is summaries because it wasn't recorded. Everything that we've heard was based on media sources.
yeah, I
Because
mean that's what I'm saying.
there
I'll
was
have to go
no recording of that trial.
I'll have to go back and listen to Lauren and the other ones and see about the testimony about that unspent casing, because I could have sworn the
Mhm.
Person said it wasn't 100%, and they would.
I think it was like not only 100%, but they couldn't. Didn't
Well,
they
you're
say
saying
they
about-
couldn't say at all that like it
No,
didn't
you-
like it
even
didn't
with
match?
ballistic. Oh no, even ballistics. Everybody on this panel, like, you know, even with ballistics, right? Like they say, like they lean towards it was a match.
Mhm.
That's like the normal way of describing it, or lean towards it not being a match. And so normally,
I heard
like
that.
the like, you know, normally like the state will say they have their expert. They'll say it leans towards a match, and then they have the other person that says that it leans towards not being a match. Just like that one Mennonite murder. That you remember that? If you remember that case, that's exactly what happened in that one specific
But
case.
don't you think it should have been a match, an exact match?
No. There is no such thing as an exact match. It's always like by looking at the evidence, it looks like it is a match. There's not 100% in this, but because you can't be 100% on it.
How
But-
though?
But
I
no,
mean,
but the accuracy that they see is like in the high 90s. So, but they can never say that. They can never say 100. You can never say 100% about anything. So with science, you can never say 100% about everything. But all I'm saying is this: like if like bite marks on like somebody's skin is like you know, elastic. So that's why like bite marks are not 100% certain on like skin or something. But like a firing pin on a bullet is much more clear.
Yeah.
So when they match like that, like what it's not a firing pin because it wasn't fired, but like the striations, like when it like was exposed, when it was like,
Yeah.
shot out of the gun, they could be very certain that it was from that gun. And I think they might have even tested, like, compared to like 99 other
you're gonna have me.
casings.
You're gonna have me tomorrow loading up all of my weapons and cocking them and then releasing and dispensing so I can look and see what the heck they look like and see if they all look the same.
Well, if you look at them under a microscope, I'm sure that they would look the same. Certainly. But yeah, think about this. We're talking about metal on metal, right? And then
Yeah,
we're
that's what
talking
I'm
about
saying
like
about how could it change? Like it couldn't, it wouldn't look
Yeah, no, but
Like it,
if it looks 100, like let's say when if you discharge like a bullet, like say you have a 9mm, you discharge a bullet, your gun is very unique, and it has like certain striations when it like discharges that bullet,
yeah.
and it's like way uniquer than everything else. The firearms expert would not say it's 100% confirmed that it was that gun.
See, I just
Because you
now,
can't-
now I
you
gotta
just
look
can't
that
say
up
it.
too, 'cause
But-
I think they would.
But wasn't the one that they found? It hadn't been fired yet, right?
No,
Yeah,
it
but
just,
there's
it
still
had
like
been cocked up.
markings. There's still individual unique markings that come from it, and it's the same thing from a fired gun too.
Tonka,
There's
I can see.
There's
Sorry, go
individual unique markings from a fire thing. So the ballistic thing where you show the two sides of the bullets like with the compared bullets next to each other and stuff. Even in those cases, they never say it's 100% sure on that. So
Yeah.
they're doing this. They're saying the same thing for like fired guns.
Wait, when
that
they're
match.
fired through the same firearm?
Yes.
Well, they
never
they're saying
say it's 100% confirmed. They've
They're-
never said that, and they can't.
they're saying
'cause
he
it's
put it in and he cocked it, but then he released it.
Right. So they had some individual markings from doing that, and there are individual markings from
But
doing
they
that.
couldn't say it was 100% match.
Right, and they don't even say that for ballistic bullets that they have match. They don't say that for that either. And I bring up like the Mennonite murder. That was one where the state said that they leaned towards the bullet being shot from the same gun, while the defense said that they leaned towards the bullet being shot from a different gun. Oh no, well, not from the same gun, but like the defense expert, quote unquote, couldn't disclude it either. So that's what I'm saying. Like, even with like shotguns that they match to a gun, it's the same as like this that unshot bullet because of unique characteristics that happened when they cycled it out of the weapon.
What about the lot? Did they say anything about the lot number? Did they match it up to the same lot number of bullets at his house?
No, I didn't hear anything about that. But think about this: like it's 5 years later, so I would expect that if he used his gun regularly, he wouldn't keep the same bullets for 5 years.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, y'all.
No, but think about this: but 5 years later, even cycling it, they matched it. Think about that. He must have cycled his gun more than that, but somehow they were able to still match that thing, And think about, just like I'm saying, like, ballistics, we see it in the trials where like they show the bullets side by side and they're like matching up the striations and stuff, like the ones they shot into the pool compared to the ones that they found. And then in those situations, they don't say it's 100% either. So that's,
I'm gonna have to
my point.
dig into this.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into it, but I do need to jump off of here for tonight.
Okay.
It's almost 2:00 here.
Alrighty. Well, it
Happy
was
New Year to everybody. Great
yeah.
discussion.
Oh, thank
Happy
you.
New
Happy
Year.
New Year to y'all
Yeah,
as
it was
well.
great having you up, Montgomery. You should come up again.
I love how you guys talk about these true crime things, and thank both of you and Scarlett. Thanks for bringing attention to all these things, and Avery.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Well,
So
go
yeah,
down so you
this is
can.
my type of show. Like again, I just like hop around. And Avery, good getting me earlier on. Like, oh, I've heard of this guy. He just jumps onto different shows.
He's
No,
saying-
so wait, I do want to apologize for that because I thought you were someone else named Scott that's in my chat. I thought that's
Well, my
who
name's
you were.
Montgomery.
Well, when I seen Scott, I thought maybe because sometimes when people come on panel, they will change their name to something different on the panel than what it is in the chat.
Yeah,
So-
you're thinking of
Yeah,
Scott Mestermick.
Yes, that's who
Yeah.
I thought it was, and I had to go back and ask somebody, and it was like, no, it's not that Scott. So I do apologize. I thought you were somebody else.
Well,
I
I'm
don't
sure you have to deal with a
apologize.
lot of trolls. No, apology necessary. You have to deal with a lot of stuff as a podcaster.
I don't
I'm
apologize. I enjoy messing with you.
No, that was a good one. That was a good. Oh yeah. I heard about you. That was hilarious.
All right, guys. Well, have a
Happy
happy
New
New
Year.
Year.
All
New
right,
Year for me
y'all
in 12
too.
minutes. Happy New Year to the rest of you.
Happy New Year. Bye,
Yeah.
guys.
And
Have a
thank
good
you.
night. Oh, sure, Scott. Thank you. Or I'm sorry, Montgomery. Thank you for coming.
Thank
up.
you.
Bye.
Thank you both. Interesting show. Thank you. Bye.
All right, no problem. Okay, yeah, I'm about to get out of here. Tonka, you're very welcome, and happy New Year to you as well. A happy New Year to everyone. I hope y'all, if y'all do anything tonight, even though it is late, be safe, please. I'm fixing to go text my children and make sure that they are home and made it home safely. I love you all. Thank you all so much for coming and hanging out with us tonight. Tomorrow night, I should be here. If something comes up and I'm not, I'll let everybody know. But I will talk to y'all next time. So, see y'all later.